The diagram shows a solid metal cylinder. The cylinder has base radius 2x and height 9x. The cylinder is melted down and made into a sphere of radius r. Find an expression for r in terms of x. You're told that this cylinder here is made of metal. It gets melted down and turned into a sphere. So you know that whatever the volume of this cylinder is, the sphere will have the same volume because this cylinder will be melted down and turned into a sphere. So this cylinder has the same volume as a sphere that it gets turned into. You are asked to find an expression for r, which you're told is the radius of the sphere in terms of x. So you don't have to find exactly a number for the radius of the sphere that's made when you melt down this cylinder. You're just asked to find the radius in terms of x, and you can see here the radius of this is 2x and the height is 9x. To do this you need to know two things. One is the formula for the volume of a cylinder, and the other is the formula for the volume of a sphere. You should know the formula for the volume of a cylinder. To find the volume of this cylinder, just find the volume of the bottom or the top. See how this is a circle? Find the area of this circle and then multiply by the height. And the way you write that is, the volume of a circle you should know is pi r squared, and then you multiply by the height, so you write that as pi r squared h, which means pi times the radius squared times the height. The volume of a sphere is given to you on the formula page, and that's 4/3 pi r cubed. So 4/3 times pi times the radius cubed. Remember what I said at the beginning. If you read this carefully, the cylinder is melted down and made into a sphere. So this cylinder here, whatever its volume may be, is turned into a sphere. Here's the formula for the volume of this cylinder. Here's the formula for the volume of the sphere it gets turned into. This cylinder is turned into a sphere, so you know that its volume will be equal to the volume of the sphere it gets turned into. The next thing you could do is start substituting in values, but actually we can simplify it right away. You can see that we have pi on both sides of the equation. Pi is being multiplied by what we've got. We can divide both sides by pi, so divide that by pi, divide that by pi, and those will cancel out. So you'll be left with r squared h is equal to 4/3 r cubed. And you can see right away we've eliminated the pi from both. So things are getting simpler. On the left we have r squared, on the right we have r cubed. So if we were to divide both sides by r squared, divide the left by r squared, keep things equal, divide the right by r squared. So those two will cancel, leaving us with just h is equal to r cubed divided by r squared leaves us with just r. So on the right we'll have just 4/3 r. We don't have anything in common now, h 4/3 r, so we'll have to now move forward from here. We can't get simpler than that. We're told that the height of our cylinder, h, is equal to 4/3 the radius of the sphere. Remember we had the cylinder formula on the left and the sphere volume formula on the right. So the height of our cylinder is equal to 4/3 the radius of the sphere. We're asked to find an expression for r in terms of x. So our final answer will need to be in terms of x. So x will have to be on one side by itself. So let's substitute in the x. So we're told h, the height, is equal to 4/3 r. If you look at the cylinder, the height is 9x. So substitute in 9x for h. Instead of writing h, we write 9x because that's what the height is. That's equal to 4/3 r. We can get it in terms of r. We're not told what r is, and if you read the question again, it says the cylinder is melted down and made into a sphere of radius r. So it doesn't say of radius 3 centimeters or something. It says of radius r. So you're not told the radius. It says you can find an expression for r in terms of x. So you can just leave it as r. You don't need to find the exact answer. You are told that it has to be in terms of x. So that just means to get x on one side by itself. At the moment, x is being multiplied by 9, so to get it by itself, we would have to divide it by 9. So if we divided 9x by 9, we'd be left with just x. We have to do the same to the right side as well. So we must divide the right expression by 9 as well, because we divided the left expression by 9. So if we divided 4/3 r by 9, it would be 4 over 3 times 9 r. 3 times 9, 9, 18, 27. So it's going to be 4 over 27 r, or 4/27 r. We can't make it any simpler than that, so that's our final answer. That is the radius of the sphere that would be made in terms of x, which is what we were asked to find. X is equal to 4/27 r.